In today's video, I'll be discussing and playtesting a set of Atherton Premier pipes. Stay tuned. Well, hello everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident piper. If you like this kind of content, please think about subscribing to the channel, liking the video, commenting below with any thoughts you have, and sharing with any other pipers in your life. I also give Skype lessons if you want more personalized instruction, but more on that later. Alright guys, I have a real treat. I know I say that about a lot of things, but I mean it this time, guys. This is a set of Atherton Premier pipes made by Dave Atherton. And note, these are not mine. They belong to a former student of mine, and they're an absolute gorgeous set. So Mr. Shannon Stevens, thank you so much for letting me review and discuss and playtest your set of pipes here. At the end of this video, there's going to be a gallery with a ton of photos of this set so you can see them in detail. So anything you don't make out here, stay tuned for that, and you can see it there. All right, so let's take a look at these things. They are absolutely fantastic. These are the Premier models. So Atherton has 3 lines of pipes. He has his McDougall line, his Premier line, and his Legacy line, and I'm not quite sure what makes them different. I know the McDougall line is a true McDougall replica down to just about every nuance of the instrument, and that the Legacy and the Premier are, I believe, tweaks on that, but please, if you know better, correct me down in the comments below. But one of the most outstanding things about this instrument is the workmanship of the actual wood itself. It is flawless, guys. It is... I can't see any machining marks. I don't see a single tear in any of the combing or beading anywhere. Everything is glossy, everything is smooth, and yet there's a nice bit of relief, if you will. I can really kind of feel the combs and the beads, and yet everything just feels so wonderful. This set is relatively rare. It's an older set, and it's mounted in beaded, hallmarked silver. And the ferrules are beaded, which means that little raised line right there, as well as beaded caps. And these caps are fantastic because they're very proportional to the instrument. One of the things that struck me was how relatively short this cap was here when compared to others. But when you look at the proportions of the instrument itself, it's absolutely balanced and it's very classic looking. So right here I have the top to my Henderson Heritage pipe, and overall you can see the length. If there's a difference in length, it's like a millimeter. But if we actually look at these tops, if we line those beads up, we can see how much taller this one is than this one. This gives a much more modern profile to a very classic look anyway, but you can see that the ferrule is both taller than the ferrule on the Athertons, as is the ring cap, whereas this one is smaller. It's giving it a more classic profile and design look. So if you're wanting that kind of classic look, you're going to do well with a set of these Atherton Premiers. Every piece of silver on this bagpipe is hallmarked. I had wondered if the ferrules were. It's fairly subtle, but I just found the hallmarking right here. You can find the hallmarking right here on the slide. I can see it right here on the cap. Absolutely fantastic, and it really gives a sense of authenticity to the instrument. This set also features blackwood mounts. Now these are not integral. They're not made out of the same piece of blackwood. They are made out of separate pieces of blackwood, but a very elegant shape. It's a relatively small diameter. We can actually compare it right here to the diameter of this more traditional projecting mount right here from my Henderson Heritage pipes. You can see it's smaller. It's got a nice flat top and a lovely curve right there. It's absolutely fantastic, and the workmanship where they come together is just a thing of true beauty. We're going to hold it up kind of close to the camera here and see if maybe, just look at that. And the finish on the wood is perfect. I'm going to be playtesting this set here in a little bit. I'll be using these rocket drone reeds that all 3 of these have, and then I'm going to switch them out for my easy drone tenors and my balanced tone bass, and we're going to listen to both of those and we're going to go back and forth. But talking about proportions here, let's take a look at this bass bottom. All right, here we go. Here is the bass bottom right here. Absolutely lovely. And we're going to compare it now to my Henderson Heritage. If we line them up on the table, you can see that the pin on the Atherton set is actually shorter. If we actually measure it that way, exactly how much shorter the pin is on the Atherton. So I would imagine if I was playing this, I might actually want to lower the bass middle a little bit lower on the pin than here, where I go for a classic kind of 2 fingers. I might go for more of a 1.5 fingers or so on this. But it really kind of changes the proportion, this gives it kind of a length to it that this one does not have. This one definitely has some width as well over that. You can see how much wider that is just back to back. And you can also see that the Henderson Heritage pipe is quite a bit narrower in the middle than the Atherton pipe over here. So just right here, you can really see the proportion difference between a couple of different pipes, and I'm hard pressed to tell you which one I like better. Now, obviously, I absolutely love my Henderson Heritage pipes here. These are fantastic, but there is a classic, clean look to this Blackwood and hallmarked sterling silver that is just hard to pass up. I mean, it looks fantastic, and I can't wait to play it here in a few minutes. One of the other features of an Atherton bagpipe is the blowpipe. It is actually a brass tube that has a wooden sleeve on the outside of it. You can actually see the brass at both the top where the mouthpiece mates up as well as the bottom. So the wood here has a bit of a distance between where it attaches on both ends, so the wood can expand and contract separate from the tube and keep it from ever cracking. All of the air and moisture goes through the metal tube, never touches the wood. Smart design, I like it, it works well. This one's outfitted with the traditional flapper valve, and as well, it has a reed wrangler. I'll eventually do a review on the reed wrangler. It'll be up there when that is done, but it's a nice flat mouthpiece, and also gives it a bit of extra length for the gentleman who plays these is rather tall, so I'll probably be using my own blowpipe when it comes to playtest, because that's a lot. I don't think I could play with that one. Let's actually unscrew the mouthpiece though and just take a look even at this end here. Yeah, see, there you go. It's got some Teflon tape on here, which is fine. This is a good place for Teflon tape. It'll keep the moisture from bubbling out, just like in a plumbing fitting. But you can see this is all one piece of metal, and it goes all the way through. And this is the same bit of metal on the bottom, and again, a wooden sleeve over it. So very smart blowpipe design. It's going to last you a lifetime. The bushes on these have either water buffalo antler or horn, I can't remember which it is, or blackwood, and I can't really tell. It's quite thin. It's finished perfectly. It's very smooth. Inset in the sterling silver there. One of my favorite looks for any drone top is when you have the cap just over and you have the other material. Again, similar in this set here where you have the satin wood coming through. I think it's a great look. This super balanced where you have just the black material, whether it's the same blackwood or just another black material that works really well for this. But I can tell you it's perfectly finished and just exquisite. The other thing that is always a joy to look at with a set of Atherton pipes is the tolerances between the ferrules and the blackwood on the stocks, or any place there is an open and non-closed ferrule. I mean, I can't barely feel that with my fingernail as I go across it, and with the smooth part of my finger I can't feel it at all. It's very smooth, it's very nicely done. I don't see any sort of filler. It looks fantastic. It's really well done, and I really do like these beaded silver ferrules. So Mr. Shannon is quite lucky to have this limited edition beaded silver ferrule, since I've heard these are not offered anymore. All right, let's get to what we're really here for. We want to hear these things. Yeah, they're gorgeous, but how do they sound? I have no doubt they're going to sound fantastic. Now that we've heard it with the rocket drone reeds, we're going to switch it out for the easy drone tenors and balanced tone bass and play the same tune, listen to it again, and just see if we can notice any perhaps differences between the drones, with the rest of the setup being exactly the same. So now we're going to go back and forth between the two clips I just recorded with the rockets and with the easy drone and balance tone, and take a listen as we kind of go back and forth line at a time between the two. And if you have a preference, comment below on which setup you prefer more. After playing both sets of reeds, I'm hard-pressed to tell you which one I like more. What I will say is that even after playing with the rockets just a little bit, they're ever so slightly less air efficient than my easy drone balance tone setup. I don't know if it's really that big of a deal, and it certainly didn't make them in any way unpleasant to play or anything of the sort, but I do have a slightly more air-efficient setup with my easy drone and balance tone reeds. Well, there you go, everybody. There's some information on the Atherton Premier line of pipes. This one mounted in blackwood with beaded silver, and they're absolutely fantastic. I love them. They were a joy to play. We got a very clear idea of the quality of sound that these produce. Super stable with both sets of reeds. I mean, it was just like a rock on my shoulder. They were a joy to play against, and you could just feel the vibration through the whole thing. It was lovely. Well, if you enjoyed this video, everybody, please think about giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, sharing with any other pipers in your life, and commenting below with any thoughts you might have. If you want to go that extra mile, I do have a Patreon where as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping support the channel, and you'll see the names of the patrons scrolling along right there, so your name could be added to that list of fine people. I appreciate all of you guys so much. It really helps make this channel, well, possible. So again, thank you guys. If you want more personalized instruction, I do give Skype lessons. Go ahead and head over to www.mattpiper.com or email me at the email you see right there, and we'll get you going. I'm working with people from all over the planet, and I hope to work with you soon. All right, guys, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper. Stay tuned for the photos, and until next time, cheers.